And welcome into another edition of the Aggie Overtime Zoomcast. Scott Marsh with you here. Glad to be with you, and we're trying to bring you interesting UC Davis athletic people on a weekly basis, keep you caught up on everything going on in the world of sports as best we can, specifically with the Aggies. Right now, it's my pleasure to be joined by Wallis Lapsley, and of course, you remember him, one of the great all-time goalkeepers in UC Davis history, graduating in 2019, drafted in the MLS fourth round by the New York Red Bulls, playing currently with their USL squad. And Wallis, I know you're back in New Jersey right now, and obviously it's been one of the big-time epicenters. And just kind of catch us up. You look good. You look healthy. I'm hoping that's the case. How are you doing, and how are things back there?
Yes, Scott, I appreciate it. I actually just cut the hair yesterday, so I'm feeling kind of nice and sharp for the interview. No, things have been things are good here. I mean, it's definitely been nuts in the city for sure, and parts of New Jersey have been hit super hard by the virus. But I don't know. I feel super fortunate. I've had no problem getting groceries and stuff like that. And I actually am living with my aunt and uncle and my cousin, so it's been good to be around family and not have to be stuck alone in an apartment or anything like that. So, but yeah, no, everything's been good for me. Like I said, I feel pretty lucky to have access to food and stuff like that and be able to go outside every once in a while. Because I know for a lot of people that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, we've been, relatively speaking, fortunate here in California. We've been hearing so much of the national news, obviously with New York City, but New Jersey right in the epicenter too. And I can only imagine what it's been like for you just following everything, being there so directly over the last several weeks.
Yeah, no, it's been nuts. I mean, I know a couple guys on the team live in New York City in apartments, so they've pretty much been inside there exclusively, except for going out to get groceries and stuff like that. So yeah, no, they're itching to get outside again for sure and getting a little cabin fever. But no, everyone in the club has been able to stay healthy and stuff like that. So it's been good in that respect.
Yeah. That's the most important thing by far. Now, you made your haircut. You are looking sharp and fresh. Working on my third month here right now. So how did you get your haircut? Who did that for you?
I've actually been cutting my own hair for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not a really complicated haircut, so I can kind of manage it myself. But I had a roommate like the first year, my second year in Davis, who would cut hair, and then he would cut my hair for a while. But he was like, honestly, like you could just learn to do this yourself and be self-sufficient. So then I invested in some clippers, and then I've been cutting hair ever since. I cut my uncle's hair, and he wasn't quite as happy with it as I am. So I don't think he'll be using my services again. But
at this point, he's got to take what he can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As we talk with Wallis Lapsley here, it is the Aggie Overtime Zoomcast. It's being brought to you by your Geico local office. They're our presenting sponsor for all of these. And again, for all your insurance needs, you can get a hold of them at 923. That's area code 916-923-5050. All right, Wallis, you're back in New York. You're back in the New Jersey area. You're wanting to get back on the pitch, play some soccer. What are they telling you? Obviously, sports is in the epicenter right now of everything that's being shut down. Some things are starting to come back. NASCAR is going to be racing in May. UFC is coming back with a fight card in May. What specifically have you been told? I know there's MLS, of course, and right now you're at the USL level, which is equivalent to kind of the triple A level of soccer. We equate it back here in our area, Sacramento Republic FC. What have you been told so far?
Yeah, so the club's been great with sort of giving us updates as they get information. I think a lot of it's going to be dictated by the situation in the state of New Jersey, where our facility is, in terms of when we can actually get back in there and start using those facilities in the weight room and things like that, and training with coaches on the field. I got involved with the USL Players Association, so it's been fun from that standpoint, to kind of hear the inner workings between the league kind of board of governors and their sort of quest to figure out a safe and viable time for us to get back into full team training, and then do the best they can to fit in sort of some semblance of a season. But yeah, sort of right now, I mean, I think as it stands, there's a training moratorium up until the middle of May, I believe. And then I think depending on the area you're in, certain teams will start opening up their facilities for kind of individual optional workouts. And then from there, hopefully we can get back going this season. I mean, it's tough to say right now when a set date will be, but I don't know. I just try to stay as optimistic as possible and make sure I'm ready to go for when we get back on the field.
Well, that's all anybody can do right now. And obviously soccer is a pretty long season. It normally starts in February, and with playoffs could go all the way till late October. There's still a lot of time to try and get some games in, and hopefully that'll be the case. Now, have you been able to train at all? Do you have a setup within your house there, or what have you been able to do? You look like you're in great shape right now. You look like you're in fine form, ready to play.
Well, I appreciate that. This is a nice confidence booster. You're kind of gassing me up, Scott. I appreciate it. No, it's been good. The club's been awesome. Our strength conditioning coach, Eric Gorman for Red Bull 2's been great. He texts us a workout to do every day. So some running and stuff, and then also some like at home kind of body weight workout. Like, I don't know, I fill up like a backpack with like the books on the bookshelf back here to try to get a little extra weight and stuff like that. But it's been kind of a fun experience in one regard, in terms of like being creative and figuring out kind of the best way to make the best of the situation. I mean, I try to be a pretty positive person, so this has definitely been a test of your positivity and trying to put a good spin on things. But yeah, no, I'm just doing the best that I can and trying some new things. I started doing some dance classes with my cousins, like online.
What kind of dance? What are you doing?
We did a hip hop dance one last night. So just learning some, I don't know, there's like good footwork agility stuff, and I don't know, I've never been much of a dancer myself, so kind of
Can I look for it on TikTok, or are you going to send it out, or what's the deal here?
I don't know if I'm quite ready yet to go public with it, but no, my cousins are into the TikTok stuff. So if they need me for a feature, I've told them I'm ready for it. But I think they are not as eager as I am to incorporate.
There's a lot of Aggie fans. There's a lot of Aggie fans who'd like to see that right now. As we talk with Wallis Lapsley, it is the Aggie Overtime Zoomcast. This edition being brought to you by Soul at West Village. It's a resort-style student living community built with an intelligent design, eco-architecture, and an energy vision. Enjoy the best of student life at UC Davis's off-campus housing, located just a few minutes from campus. To see what Soul has to offer, apply online at soulatwestvillage.com and make Soul at West Village your new home. All right, Wallis, let's go back to your Aggie days. Obviously, you were one of the greats to ever play at the pitch at UC Davis and defend a goal. What was your UC Davis soccer experience like, and tell us what the feeling was when you actually got drafted in the MLS?
Well, my experience at Davis was awesome. I came into the campus as a freshman, not knowing a ton, to be honest, about the school. It was the only opportunity that I got to play Division I soccer. So when I got that, when the coaching staff gave me the chance to come down and be part of the program, I jumped at it right away. But I didn't know a ton about the campus. I'd been once on an unofficial visit, and then after I committed, I came for an official visit. But so just like kind of 3 days of being around the campus. So there wasn't a lot that I knew about the campus and just the university in general, but I was super fortunate, and I always kind of laugh looking back at like a lot of the stuff that I didn't know about the school ended up being the stuff that I loved the most. So it was awesome for me. I think we had a ton of success over my career in terms of postseason, things like that. It culminated this year winning the Big West tournament championship and going to play in the NCAA tournament. I think no, I mean, I don't know. I think the accomplishments have been great, but I mean, I think I made a goal early for myself in my career was to like not necessarily be as accomplishment driven in terms of like a legacy that I wanted to leave, but think more about like, if I can leave this campus and have people know that I, number one, like love the game and love soccer, and then also sort of love my teammates and coaching staff and just the student athlete community as a whole at Davis. And I think I've done what I wanted to do. But no, yeah. And then having the opportunity to continue to play soccer and getting paid for it is something that I still I'm still wrapping my mind around it a little bit. Like when I get my paycheck, I'm like, wow, like don't tell anybody, but I would definitely do this for free. So it's just really nice to get paid for it. So I'm living the dream in that regard and trying to just make the most of it and enjoy it. I don't know. I think like, I don't know. There's sometimes a lot of things to be negative about, whether you're tired or you're hurt or you're whatever as a student athlete and even as a pro, but I try to do the best to make the most of every day and enjoy the little things, because I think ultimately whenever I'm done playing, I'm going to look back and miss doing those little things. So I do the best to kind of get the most out of them right now.
That's what it's all about. What was it like playing for the legendary Dwayne Schaefer?
Legendary Dwayne Schaefer. He's gonna like that.
He asked me to ask that question.
Nice. No, it was great. Like I said, Coach Schaefer gave me opportunity to continue my dream of playing soccer, and to be able to do it at the Division I level was something that I wanted to do for a while, and he gave me an opportunity where no one else really did. So I'll always be grateful to him. And another thing that I'm grateful for is he trusted me with taking up a leadership role kind of early on in my career. And I don't know, I feel really fortunate to have had the opportunity to be part of the program, and then also had the opportunity to kind of take a little bit of a leadership role and help guide other people through the things that I've experienced, kind of based on my experiences. So grateful for those two things for sure. And he knows the game really, really well. He's been in college soccer for longer than I've been alive. So there were times for sure where it was super meaningful to be able to kind of pick his brain about certain situations, or just hear stories from his long coaching career.
What was your favorite thing about UC Davis, non-soccer related?
Non-soccer related, I think I don't know, the people. I don't know. I think that's kind of a blasé general response, but
Sure.
Honestly, like the student athlete community at Davis for me was awesome. Like whether it was meeting people in the training room, in the weight room, at other student athletes games, a lot of my closest friends were other student athletes. And I think this sort of the interconnected spirit of supporting each other. I don't know, a lot of like when I think back about winning the Big West Conference championship, the tournament championship, was after we won, a bunch of people ran on the field, and almost all of them were student athletes. And I think sort of the mutual support, it was like not only were we winning, we were kind of all winning together as a collective student athlete community. So that was awesome. And for me, like to be able to kind of connect with people from all over the world, all over California, who are kind of interested in the same things as I am, motivated people and motivated athletes, was really, really great. So the people for sure was the best thing.
Absolutely. That's a good answer. Now, you are a global disease biology major, and that seems pretty relevant in today's world. What were you studying? Well, fascinating. I mean, obviously it is a tragedy what's going on, trying to make the best, but just from a education background that you have and what's going on, I'd love to hear your take and how fascinated you are with everything based on what you learned at UC Davis.
Yeah, no. So global disease biology is kind of like the intersection of human health, animal health, and environmental health. And with the UC Davis Vet School and the UC Davis Medical Center, there's was awesome opportunity to kind of learn from different people who are sort of experts in their respective fields. And it's been sort of eerie for me to kind of watch things play out that in kind of real time that we studied in a classroom setting. I mean, we spent time in some of my courses talking about the SARS outbreak in Asia a few years ago, which has been compared or mentioned quite a bit in terms of the coronavirus. So yeah, no, I mean, it's been interesting for sure. And I guess, I don't know if interesting is the right word.
No,
but,
I know what you're saying though. Obviously, we've all learned so much about what's going on, but with your background, when you're watching something on TV or following it, you have certainly a different perspective about it, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I can say is how important it is to trust the experts and to trust the people whose opinions and statements are founded in science and founded in research. I think with as big of a deal as this is, there's a lot of opinions, a lot of stress, a lot of nervousness going around. And sometimes with those emotions, statements aren't the most accurate. So I think the important thing is to find reputable, trustworthy sources of information, and then to kind of do what you can to follow the advice that those people are giving.
Absolutely. All right. This is the Aggie Overtime, brought to you by Geico. Kind of turning back to your career here. Once things get back going again, I know your goal is obviously to get back at the MLS level. Where do you see things right now in terms of the transition MLS and where you're heading?
No, again, I mean, just super grateful to have the opportunity to keep playing soccer first and foremost. I don't know, New York Red Bulls is a club that's got a great pedigree of developing young players, players going from where I am now at the Red Bull 2 level to breaking into the first team. So that's my goal and my aspiration for sure for the future, just to break into the first team and to play in the MLS as a starting goalkeeper, because I know for sure that's something that I'm capable of doing, and I'm excited to kind of take advantage of the opportunities to reach that level that the Rebels have given me. But yeah, I know for this season, my goals were just to improve as much as possible. I'm fortunate to be part of a great goalkeeping group with some other goalkeepers who've been great mentors to me, willing to kind of let me pick their brain and kind of like ask every question I could think about. So yeah, to learn as much from them and to be a positive influence in the training environment. I don't know, my role is a little bit different than most in that I'm kind of up and down between the first team, so the MLS team and Rebel 2 as needed. So if they need an extra goalkeeper for a day with the first team, I'm up training with those guys, and then some days I'm down with RB2. So I kind of get a little bit of both, which is great. So yeah, whether it's pushing those guys in training, whether it's playing matches for Red Bull 2, whatever the club needs me to do to help Red Bull be successful, and then also for me just to do whatever I can to take the most out of the opportunity and improve as much as I can and make the most of the match opportunities that I'm given over the course of the season.
All right, Wallis, I want to get into your game here a little bit. Talk about goal saving. I want to know what it's like to be on the line when there's a penalty kick and you've got to try and stop that, and it might be for a game winner in a lot of cases. And then just in terms of saves, do you have that one save that you look back and go, wow, that was one of the greatest saves of my career?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as penalties go, I try to think about it and put it in perspective that all the pressure in my eyes is on the attacker. They're kind of expected to score, whereas I'm expected to not be as successful. So right away, I try to take a little pressure off myself and kind of just enjoy the opportunity to make a big play. But yeah, no, leading up to a match, I try to do as much research as possible on the other team. If they've got a guy who normally takes penalties, what are his tendencies? What does he look like when he's going to whichever side he goes to? And kind of use that and keep that in my kind of back pocket as something to consider. But then also I think in the moment, sometimes I get a gut feeling, and it's just kind of really important to sometimes trust that and whatever side it is, just to go 100% and hope you have an opportunity to make a save. But yeah, no, so it's unfortunately it's one of those things where you're unsuccessful more than you are successful. But in those moments that you're successful, it's pretty fun.
Absolutely. Those are big time saves. Now, I read in your bio that if you could have played another sport, you would have played basketball. So did Coach Les ever try to recruit you to play some hoops, or did you ever mix it up in any pickup games with any of the Aggie players, or what's up with there?
No, I never got the call from Coach Les, unfortunately. It's a dream of mine that he'd see me shooting 3-pointers one day. And, we could use this guy as like a 3-and-D energy guy coming off the bench. But it didn't end up happening. That's probably better for the men's basketball program that it didn't. But no, I love basketball. I played it in high school. And besides soccer was definitely one of my main sports. And I would play a little bit with some of my buddies on the football team, like kind of and soccer team, just during like intramurals or at the Arc and stuff like that. But no, yeah, never got the chance to lace it up for the Ags.
All right, but you're still a Hoosiers guy, it says. So, and that is a great movie. So.
Yeah, I love the movie. Jimmy Chadwick coming off the picket fence is a great moment for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, Wallis, we appreciate the time. We're all glad that you're healthy and safe. Stay that way. We're rooting for you. We can't wait to see you get back out on the pitch, hopefully this year, and we'll look forward to watching you play some more. Thanks for the time. It was great to catch up with you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thanks, Scott. My pleasure. I appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Aggie Overtime Zoomcast, again, brought to you by Village of West Hull, and, of course, our presenting sponsor, your local Geico office. We'll be back with more next week. We appreciate your time, and as always, go Ags.